My true feelings for you coming out. I hate you guys.
That was my personal least favorite.
What about you, Tim?
Well, I mean, it seems like just about everyone that involves me involves some kind of physical harm towards me. So it's kind of hard to choose. Maybe like the one where.
Gashed your head open with the mask by slamming it into the.
Oh yeah, we had our little fight in season 2, and
When you come at me with a knife and Alex
yeah
destroys you.
And I suggested, just for extra intensity, what if you like make it look like you're slamming my head into the door really hard?
It should be noted that this was your idea.
And I was against it. I was like, "Are you sure?" You're like, "Yeah, it's fine."
So I don't know what I expected, I guess.
Actually, when we go back to our table outside, the mask that's on display was the one that you were wearing, and you can see the crack in it.
Yeah.
Isn't that why we started using a new one?
Yeah, that one has been retired because we broke it.
And what's even funnier is he bled for that take.
Didn't even use it. It didn't look real enough.
Of course.
Even though it was real enough.
Yeah, it didn't look real enough. It was real.
It didn't look real. Sorry.
What about you?
Well, there's so many to choose from.
They're all miserable. Not all miserable. We don't hate it.
The season finale of season 2, just because the hotel. Just because we
my God.
I guess we'll probably talk about this at the commentary later tonight, which you should all come to. We got the hotel that we used at the beginning of season 2 that Jay and Jessica were in. We had to come back to finish the season with the season finale there.
Remember, there's like a 2-month break here.
Yeah.
Because of how we had to shoot it.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be, like the night before season 2 started. Like in the story, like the ending of season 2 was the beginning of season 2, or led into the beginning of season 2. And we got there, and they decided to remodel the hotel in between the time that we went there originally and when we came back, and it was supposed to be the same hotel room.
The doors were different. The floor was different. There were no more safes.
Yeah, there was no safe. They took away the safe, so if you watch it...
We even went down there like, can we get one? They're like, we don't have them at all.
They said they stopped using safes because people were complaining about it. Who does that? This safe just makes me feel just uncomfortable.
I can't sleep because it's
The
safe.
safe is so loud.
Being there.
I've never been bullshitted to so hard until my Facebook from that guy at the front desk. He was like, oh, people don't like him. So, sorry if this ruins anything, but if you watch the season 2 finale, when I put the tapes in the safe, there's not actually a safe there. I mind closing it. Don't worry, if you come to the commentary later tonight, I'll point it out for you.
What's your least favorite? Was it the one where you drug through asbestos? That's your favorite?
Actually, no. It was the one where we were down at the was it the Riverwalk area?
That was your least favorite?
What's the mosquitoes?
Oh, yeah.
I was like getting eaten alive, so it was like every take I'm like,
Oh, yeah. You were
This is horrible! We had to do that so many times, too.
Yeah, he did.
and then there were people in the car.
Yeah, and everything.
Yeah.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah. It's only 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
We can't tell that story.
Okay. Next question, please. Yes.
No, he's doing that.
What advice would you give for somebody trying to make their own ARG?
Oh, wait.
Making their own ARG?
We have no idea.
We have no idea. Well, I mean, there is ARG elements to Marvel Hornets, namely to the arc. There are ARG elements, but only kind of. There's not like, any kind of geotagging, anything, people going out in the real world trying to find things. Although some people actually have done that.
I think, of course, like I said, we don't really do it, so maybe this advice is terrible, but it's probably kind of similar to what we would say if you were like, hey, I'm making my own series, what do you suggest? Which maybe that was one of your questions, so I'm going to answer that right now. 2 big rules. Know what you're going to do. Don't do a season 1. You can make some, there's some cool things in season 1, but it's not a good way. It's not. And
I mean, you can get out of it though. I mean, it's not impossible to get out of it because we're doing it now.
No, you can work around it. It's just going to make it way harder for you.
Yeah.
And simple is better. Don't
Less is more is what we've come to find.
Yeah, don't try to overcomplicate it too much. Like, you don't want it to be like, okay, the 42, that's the answer, that's your mystery. Like, not that simple.
What are you talking about?
Hitchhiker's
Are
Guide.
you making a Hitchhiker's Guide reference? Or?
Yes.
Okay. I thought you were saying entry 42.
But you don't want to dumb it down too much, but.
And it's okay to leave questions unanswered.
Yeah, don't make it complex for the sake of being complex.
Because if you do answer something and it's some kind of big question, it's never going to live up to the expectations of the answer people were expecting. But, do answer most things. There are some things to leave people hanging on to.
So that would be my advice on a thing that I don't know anything about.
Yes. Okay, next question over here. Yes. Robin. Yes.
Question for Tim, actually.
Ah.
Sorry. I know you did some of the writing in, I think, your 61, where you yell at Jay. And I'm just curious if you're interested in doing more writing, whether in Marvel Hornets or other endeavors. I know you're into film now.
Oh yeah, definitely. I originally started as just, hey, you want to be in this video that I'm making? Come to the park. And then I've gradually kind of grown to the point where I've been adding to actual co-writing and stuff too, and I've really been enjoying that.
Yeah, you wrote like the entirety of 61, I think, and really all I did was just kind of like make it shorter.
Yeah, that's kind of the dynamic, is that like whenever I write, it's always really wordy, so I'll just we'll figure out the premise, I'll pound out a script, and then give it to Troy, and he'll be like, okay, we need to get rid of this and this and this, because not everyone needs to give a giant monologue.
Yeah.
So it's.
We also did that. We also wrote the one where we're talking in front of the trucks.
Yeah.
60, the one before this
3.
one, right? Yeah,
Yes.
the one before the most recent one, which would be 63.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you did write that one too, and it was like the same thing. Although we did improvise more of it, because sometimes what you write down is, sometimes what you write down sounds good in your head, and then you say it out loud, and it's like, this is not how humans talk.
At the beginning of season 2, when we were, because that was heavily scripted.
That was, yeah.
And Troy and I were waiting on Jessica because she had some.
Yeah, she's an actual actress, so she had
she had real stuff to do, and we
Grown
were
up
just
things.
sitting around there editing the script, and by the end of it, it looked almost nothing like what we started out, because we're saying it out loud, and we're like, oh no.
It's like you're under pressure when she is there, because she's an actual actress and she knows these kinds of things, so you're like, I want it to be really good for her.
That's another bit of advice, though, just going back to the whole cutting stuff down. Don't be afraid to cut stuff out.
Yeah. It sucks when you have to, but
Usually it's a good decision later on whenever you look back.
Yeah.
I'm glad we took that out.
case in point, the latest entry, it was originally 18 minutes, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, so actually what I do, because I don't live with Joseph anymore, so they always come over to my apartment and watch it and kind of give me feedback, because it's good to have a fresh perspective on things after I edit it. And Joseph was just watching, he was like, this is so boring. Just there's nothing happening here. We have to cut this down. And you also convinced us to reshoot something completely. I think when I come back out and find you in the car, that was reshot the day it was posted.
It was worth it.
The day that video was uploaded, that part was shot that morning.
We got up at 7 in the morning, right when the park opened. Because we have to go to that park whenever we want to shoot in those parking lots.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go there right when it opens, because there's never anyone there until the camera turns on.
Floodgates open.
And there's just tons of, high schoolers that bring down their bikes and then walk over and stand in front of the mat for 10 minutes. Take a picture of it with your phone and go away.
Trying to make videos for the internet.
Yeah.